Okay, so this is a pretty simple and straightforward trap beat here. It has, of course, music, it has some effects, it has the bass mix. I group all of those in the Reaper folders and I call them sometimes mix, sometimes bass, yeah, whatever. And we have, of course, drums. Let's begin with the drums. They're the most important part of any hip hop production, I think. So we're clipping all over the place, and that's by intention. We want that clipped sound, of course. That's the modern sound, unfortunately, of today. Anyhow, let's see where the drums are coming from. I have this VST called Citala. It's basically a sample loader. You have some controls here, and yeah, it's free. I use the kick. I don't use all of these. For example, I don't use this spins. I have the open hat, I have the clap, I have the secondary snare. I don't think I use these, maybe some of these, I don't know. Anyways, this Citala plugin is actually routing to individual tracks, as you can see here. So we can process them one by one. Let's begin with the kick. This is how the kick sounds, pretty heavy. And it doesn't have actually any processing on it. It just sends to the distortion channel and to a bunch of other channels for sidechaining. Wherever you see 3 and 4 for the receive, you know that's a sidechain being sent to the track. So we have this kick and snare distortion. Both kick and snare go here, and it's basically some analog obsession pedals with the maximum drive and with some filtering, of course. Let's listen to the snare. So there are two parts of the snare. There's the clap and there's the syncopated clack, or however you want to call this. They hit at the same time on the accent, and on the syncopation it's only the percussion. So let's see what's going on here. So the actual clap is going to the distortion channel, and let's see the processing for the snare. We have some EQing. I'm bringing up around 200 hertz. That's where the fundamental frequency of most snare drums lie, and I'm bringing up some crack, I guess, here at 5K. Some compression going on. It's not much. The 93 milliseconds attack is pretty high. I want the drums to punch really hard. Yeah, and some reverberation going on here, but it's really low. So it's some plate thing, and it's really mixed low. The kick and snare together sound like this. And that's it for the kick and the snare. Let's go on to the cymbals. I grouped everything under cymbals, the hi-hats and the shakers. It's really cool sounding. For the hi-hat, I actually use the Resamplomatic. That's the built-in stock Reaper plugin. And here, make sure that you put the attack on 0 milliseconds, because by default it's on 1. And if you leave it on 1, it's gonna kill the transient. I don't know why by default it's 1. Anyways, this is the hat sample. I have the channel time delayer to delay the hat by 7 milliseconds. I want it 7 milliseconds late. That gives it that trap feel, gives it a bit more groove and a bit more, I don't know, swing and punch. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I use it all the time on trap. Some basic EQ moves here, and some proto-verb reverb. This is a free plugin by Yuhi, however you say this, mixed pretty low. It's mixed at 10%, I think. And the other closed hat is this one, and it's again Resamplomatic. There's some pitching going on, and I think that's the pitch automation that I drawn here. Just makes it more alive, makes it more analog, I think. Yeah. There's the channel time delayer, again 7 milliseconds. There's the transient controller. I'm really bringing up the transient on this one. You can hear it here. It's really crunchy. And there's some EQing. I'm cutting out all of the low end, and this is how they sound together. There's some pitching going on. I'm shifting the hi-hat by a couple of semitones here and there to give it some, you know, color, some interest, stuff like that. Let's move on to the open hat. It's happening at the end of the each measure, or however you call this. So that's the open hat. There's actually no processing on it. And the shaker. Let's close these. The shaker has the same time delay and some proto-verb. Actually, the wet signal is pretty high. Let's hear all of the cymbals together. Pretty cool. Next off, let's see the parent track, what we have on it. We have some BX master desk, the 29 imperfect demo saver preset. I think I tweaked it a little bit, maybe not. Gain reduction is pretty heavy, I think. And I have some high-end automation here. Actually, in the verses, I cut out some of the high end, and that makes the verses a little bit calmer and, you know, not as aggressive. Also, in the verses, I turn off the kick and snare distortion. Yeah, you can see we bring the energy down. Next, let's move on to the bass. Bass is just an 808 sample. That is, again, resamplematic. It just spins 808. We have the Shut the Fuck Up plugin, which receives notes from the kick drum, I think, and it ducks the 808 so that it can work with the kick. Let's hear them together. Yeah, that's what's going on here. And next off, we have some saturation with the free soft tube saturation knob, and we have some volume adjustment and EQing. I'm cutting out 1.5K because this is a really cheap sounding frequency for me, and I'm cutting out some of the high end, and I'm actually sending this 808 to the 2 tracks below, and I'm only sending the MIDI to to this one. But I don't think I'm using this one at all. It's not being used, so I can delete it. I'm not sure what it is. Something that I tried and probably didn't work out, so I left it there by accident. We have another send to the 808 distorted track, and this is how it sounds like. It's a really distorted sound, and we can see the effects. We have some pitching. I am pitching up by 1 octave. I'm cutting out the low frequencies. I'm using the Szechuan saturator. This is also a free plugin. I'm using some more filtering and Serum effects, delay, reverb, filter. It sounds pretty crazy, but yeah, that's it. Actually sounds like a cymbal. It's pretty fun. 808 with the drums. Pretty fucking heavy. Next off, let's look at the music folder. We have some resample frequency automation here. Let's look at the music folder here. We have the Cymatics Origin again. It's a free plugin from Cymatics. It's really cool for lo-fi sounding stuff. I use the Origin preset and I automate the frequency here, as you can see, to add some interest and stuff. Okay, so next off, we have some compression. And this is a sidechain compression coming from the kick. Whenever the kick hits, the signal is getting ducked. Yeah, you can see the kick is sending to this. And that's for the music folder. And besides the music folder, we have a shimmer track here. It's pretty cool by this made by this Tyrell NSX VST by Yuhi. It's also free. I cut out the low end, add some reverb. It's Reaper's built-in reverb. That's it. And for the music, let's look what's happening here. We have some dark pad track. This one is really in the background, and yeah, it's a single note. This is my TALSampler that I like to use very much, but you can use any sampler. You can use Reaper's sampler for this as well. It's just a basic sample of a pad. And yeah, that one is going into the re-EQ for some filtering. We add some reverb with the TAL reverb. This is a free one. We have some filtering going on here, and we have some sidechain compression again. Okay, for really hardcore sidechain compression. So we have the build-up pad. Let's look at that one. Yeah, this one is building up to the melody drop, and let's hear the melody. Pretty cool. I rendered this to audio because it was causing some troubles, I think. So I bounced it to audio, and yeah, that's it for this one. It was made with the Helix VST, I think. We have the melody high, we have the melody mid, we have the melody low, and all of those sound like this. And the high one has the Melda ring modulator, which is free on it, and it has some filtering. The mid one has some effects with the Serum effects. It has some distortion, some chorusing, some size dimension expanding. We have some chorusing, and we have some delay and reverb. Lots of effects here. We have some Semantics Origin, the next door preset. I don't know if it was tweaked or not, but these are the settings. And we have some filtering as well, and getting rid of the unwanted harsh frequencies here. And for the low, melody low, we have the pitching down by 1 octave. Then we have some Serum effects, basically dimension expansion, delay and reverb, Semantics Origin, the next door preset again, and we have some heavy filtering going on here. And that's it for the music. We can hear how it all sounds together. Yeah, we have some effects down here. I'm gonna turn them on as well. It's pretty basic, just a sweep and a crash, and they have some reverb on them. This is the old school Verb plugin by Voxengo. It's pretty cool if you ask me. We can listen to it, for example, here. And when we play it all together, it sounds like this. Woo! Pretty bouncy if you ask me. And let's see what's happening on the master track here. First off, we have a stock clipper by Reaper. It's clipped pretty hard because that's the sound of the modern trap music, I guess. That's what I went with this. This is what the kids like these days, so I really pinned it down really hard. Next off is the saturation knob by Softtube. Next off, another amazing plugin which was free at one point. I'm not sure if it's free anymore. This is an amazing saturator plugin by Brainworks, and yeah, sounds pretty cool. This is the Mixbus preset, Mixbus 1. Sounds pretty cool. Next off, again, the Shadow Hills mastering plugin. And on every project I have, I use the spam plugin for basically for visualization, for checking frequencies, stuff like that. And in the end, we have the Neutron 3 Elements by Isotope. This is another freebie. It was free at some point, not sure if it's free anymore. We have some equalization going on and bringing up the high end, bringing down the this boxy frequencies around 500 Hertz, and bringing up some of the low end. That's it for this track. It's pretty simple, but effective. Yeah. As you can see, also one more thing, I like to create markers or sometimes regions for the different regions of my song, so I can quickly jump to a section. For example, for the intro I can press 1, for the cooldown I can press 3, for the outro melody I can press 5. Yeah, just makes it easy to jump around. That's it for this one. Hope you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more stuff, music, Reaper, everything like that, and see you next time. Bye.